Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Talk English Now. I'm Sarah, and today we're going to learn powerful, natural English phrases that you can use every single day. These aren't just basic expressions. They're the kinds of phrases fluent English speakers use naturally in real conversations. By the end of this lesson, you'll feel more confident, sound more fluent, and express yourself more clearly in daily life. Before starting, I just want to let you know that we upload daily English learning videos every day, so make sure to subscribe and join our learning family. Let's begin with something simple but powerful. When you meet someone, instead of always saying, "How are you?" you can say, "How have you been?" It's more natural and friendly. You can also say, "It's been a while, hasn't it?" These phrases show connection, warmth, and real fluency. Try saying it with me. "How have you been?" "It's been a while, hasn't it?" That rhythm and tone matter. Make your voice rise slightly at the end for that friendly touch. Now, let's talk about how to agree politely and naturally. Of course, you can say, "Yes, I agree," but native speakers often use phrases like, "You're absolutely right," or "That's so true," or "I couldn't agree more." These sound smoother and more confident. You can also show partial agreement with phrases like, "I see your point," or "That makes sense, but..." When you want to add your own opinion, let's practice that flow together. "You're absolutely right. That makes sense, but maybe we could look at it another way." Feel the natural rhythm of your speech as you repeat. When you disagree, do it politely and calmly. You can say, "I'm not sure I agree with that," or "I see what you mean, but I think..." This shows confidence without sounding rude. In English, tone is just as important as words. A soft voice, a short pause, and gentle words make your disagreement sound professional and kind. For example, say, "I see what you mean, but I think it could work differently." Practice that with me slowly. "I see what you mean, but I think it could work differently." In daily life, we often react to things people say. For example, if someone tells you something surprising, you might say, "Oh, really?" or "No way." If you agree, you can say, "Exactly," or "That's so true." These short expressions make your English sound alive and natural. Instead of staying silent, react. That's how conversations flow in English. Try this. I'll say something, and you react naturally. "I woke up late today and missed my bus." You could say, "Oh no," or "That's too bad." Good. Now, "I got a promotion at work." You can say, "Wow, congratulations," or "That's amazing." These reactions show emotion and connection, key parts of fluent communication. When we connect ideas, fluent speakers use linking phrases. Instead of speaking in short, separate sentences like, "I like coffee," "I drink it every morning," connect them smoothly. Say, "I like coffee and I drink it every morning," or "I like coffee because it helps me wake up." You can also use "so," "although," and "even though." For example, "I was tired, but I went to the gym anyway." This kind of connection shows fluency because your thoughts flow naturally from one to another. Try building your own connected sentence right now. Think of two ideas and join them with "and," "but," or "because." Speak it aloud slowly and clearly. Let's add a few advanced but useful phrases that make your English sound professional and natural. When you want to give your opinion, you can say, "From my point of view," or as far as I'm concerned. When you want to be polite in conversation, use would you mind if, like, would you mind if I opened the window? Or when someone gives you information, instead of saying okay, say got it or I see. Each of these makes your English sound relaxed but fluent. Repeat a few with me. From my point of view, would you mind if I joined you? Got it. I see. Many English learners forget that fluency isn't just vocabulary. It's rhythm, tone, and mindset. So let's practice a short shadowing exercise. I'll say a short sentence, then you repeat after me with the same tone. Ready? I'll grab a coffee before work. Repeat. Sounds like a plan. Repeat. Let's catch up soon. Repeat. Excellent. Shadowing helps your brain and mouth work together, just like a musician practicing an instrument. The more you repeat with rhythm, the more natural you'll sound. Now, let's imagine a simple daily situation. You're meeting a friend after work. You could say, "Hey, how's your day going?" They might say, "Pretty good, just a bit busy." You can respond with, "I get that. It's been a long day for me too." Notice how natural that feels. Not too formal, not too casual, just right. Real fluency means you sound comfortable, not perfect. Try saying it aloud, slowly, and with emotion. "Hey, how's your day going?" "Pretty good, just a bit busy." "I get that. It's been a long day for me too." Great job. Another way to sound fluent is to use short fillers like, actually, or kind of. But be careful. Don't overuse them. For example, you could say, "I was kind of tired today," or "Actually, I don't think that's a good idea." These small words make you sound more natural and less robotic, as long as you use them softly and naturally. Try saying, "Actually, I haven't thought about that," or, "I think it's time for a change." Feel how conversational it sounds. Let's also work on politeness. English speakers often use softeners to sound kind. For example, instead of saying, "Give me that," say, "Could you please give me that?" Instead of "close the door," say, "Would you mind closing the door?" The words "please," "could you," and "would you mind" show respect and friendliness. Practice with me. "Could you please help me with this?" "Would you mind turning down the music?" "Please take your time." Great. Polite English makes people want to talk to you more. One thing that really helps fluency is learning how to buy time when you speak. When you need a moment to think, use phrases like, "Let me think for a second," or "That's a good question." These are natural pauses, not mistakes. Native speakers do this all the time. Try saying it with me. "Let me think for a second." "That's a good question. I haven't really thought about that before." See how that keeps the conversation flowing even when you need a second? Let's take a small practice round to put everything together. Imagine you're at a cafe and your friend asks, "What did you do yesterday?" You can say, "Well, I worked most of the day, but I met a friend for dinner in the evening." That sounds fluent, right? It's connected, it's natural, and it flows. Or imagine someone says, "Do you want to go out this weekend?" You could say, "Sounds great. I'm free on Saturday." These are the kinds of short, connected sentences that make your speech sound confident. Now here's a little tip for mindset. Fluency isn't just about perfect grammar. It's about being brave enough to speak. Even when you make mistakes, keep talking. Confidence is built through repetition, not perfection. Every time you use one of these phrases, your brain becomes faster at producing English naturally. So whenever you feel nervous, remind yourself, I'm improving every time I speak. Say that now. I'm improving every time I speak. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. We share lessons like this every day to help you speak English clearly, confidently, and naturally. So hit that like button. It really supports the channel and keeps the lessons coming. Now, let's continue with more natural ways to express emotions in English. Sometimes you want to sound friendly, not formal. Instead of, I am very happy, you can say, I'm so glad, or I'm really excited. For frustration, instead of, I am angry, say, I'm a bit upset, or I'm kind of annoyed. These softer phrases sound more natural in real conversation. Repeat a few with me. I'm so glad you came. I'm really excited about this. I'm a bit upset, to be honest. I'm kind of tired today. Perfect. When you're reacting in conversation, you can use emotional connectors too. If someone tells you something nice, say, that's awesome, or good for you. If someone shares bad news, you can say, I'm sorry to hear that, or that must be tough. These little reactions show empathy. They make your English sound not just fluent, but human. Let's try them slowly together. That's awesome. Good for you. I'm sorry to hear that. That must be tough. Beautiful. And remember, the more emotion you bring into your words, the more fluent and natural you sound. English isn't just about vocabulary. It's about expressing how you feel with tone, rhythm, and connection. So let's keep practicing that together. Let's keep going. You've already learned some really natural phrases for starting and reacting in conversations. Now let's go deeper into how to keep a conversation going smoothly, how to respond, expand, and connect your ideas naturally. When you're in a conversation, one of the easiest ways to sound fluent is by showing interest. English speakers often use short, supportive phrases like, that's interesting, or I didn't know that, or really? Tell me more. These small, active listening phrases show that you're paying attention. Try saying them with me slowly. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Really? Tell me more. These phrases help you sound engaged, and they give the other person space to continue talking. When you want to add your own thought, you can use connectors like, actually, by the way, or speaking of that. For example, actually, I've been there too, or by the way, did you see the news today? These connecting phrases are so helpful because they guide the conversation naturally. Without them, your sentences can sound robotic or disconnected. Let's practice this. Imagine your friend says, I love Italian food. You could respond with, actually, I love it too. Pasta is my favorite. See how smooth that sounds? Try it aloud now. Fluency also means being able to express opinions naturally. You can say, I think, or in my opinion, but fluent speakers often use softer or more advanced versions like, it seems to me that, or I'd say, for example, I'd say this restaurant is better than the one we went to last week. Or, it seems to me that learning English gets easier once you start speaking more. Try repeating those sentences with me now. It seems to me that learning English gets easier once you start speaking more. I'd say this restaurant is better than the one we went to last week. Here's something very useful. When you don't fully agree, but you want to sound respectful, try using a soft disagreement. For example, instead of saying, "You're wrong," say, "I see what you mean, but I feel a bit differently." Or, "That's an interesting point, but I'm not sure I agree completely." This kind of polite tone helps you sound mature and confident. Let's repeat that together. I see what you mean, but I feel a bit differently. That's an interesting point, but I'm not sure I agree completely. Now, let's talk about small talk. Those light, casual conversations that happen every day. Whether you're at work, in a coffee shop, or meeting someone new, small talk helps you build connections. Native speakers often say things like, "How's your day going?" "Busy as always?" Or, "Can you believe this weather?" Try those aloud with a smile in your voice. "How's your day going?" "Busy as always?" "Can you believe this weather?" Small talk may seem simple, but it's an important part of English fluency. It keeps the communication friendly and relaxed. If someone asks you a question and you want to keep the conversation going, don't just give short answers. Expand your sentences with details or reactions. For example, if someone says, "How was your weekend?" don't just say "good." You could say, "It was good. I went hiking with my friends. The weather was perfect." That's what fluent speakers do. They add small details naturally. Try creating your own answer now. Think of a question like, "What did you do yesterday?" and expand your answer beyond one word. Practice it slowly. Another key to fluency is rhythm. English has a natural rise and fall, almost like music. You can practice this by reading sentences aloud with gentle stress on key words. For example, say, "I really enjoyed that movie," or "It was so nice meeting you." Feel how the emphasis makes it sound natural? When you practice shadowing, focus on that rhythm. It's the heartbeat of fluent English. Now, let's talk about transitions, those little bridges between your ideas. They make your speech smooth and connected. For example, to add information, you can use "also," "besides," or "in addition." To contrast, use "however," "on the other hand," or "but still." And when you want to conclude, say "so," "therefore," or "in the end." Here's a quick mini practice. Repeat after me slowly. I love traveling. In addition, it helps me learn new cultures. I was tired, however, I finished my work. We talked for hours, so I completely forgot the time. Excellent. These are the connectors that make your English sound truly advanced. Here's something many learners don't realize. Even advanced speakers use simple words most of the time. The secret is not big vocabulary, it's natural expression. Instead of memorizing fancy words, focus on using simple ones fluently and emotionally. For example, "I was very tired" sounds just as natural as "I was exhausted." The difference is in your tone and confidence, not the size of the word. So don't worry about sounding advanced. Focus on sounding natural. Let's try a fluency challenge. I'll describe a situation and you'll imagine what you could say naturally. You're at work and your colleague says, "Hey, how's your project going?" You could say, "It's going well, just taking a bit longer than I expected." Now imagine you're at a restaurant and the waiter asks, "How's your meal?" You could say, "It's great. Thanks for asking. The flavor's amazing. One more. Your friend says, "Are you free this weekend?" You could say, "I think so. What do you have in mind?" See how flexible and easy these are? Speaking of fluency, one technique I always recommend is self-talk. It means talking to yourself in English when you're alone. For example, while cooking, you can describe what you're doing. "Now I'm cutting the vegetables. I'll add some salt. That smells good." Or while walking outside, describe what you see. "The sky looks beautiful today. It's a bit cloudy, but still warm." Self-talk helps your mouth and brain stay in English mode. It's like private speaking practice without pressure. Now let's focus on pronunciation for a moment. Clear pronunciation helps you sound confident. Try to relax your mouth and move your tongue naturally. Repeat after me. Comfortable, not comfortable, but comfortable. Vegetable, not vegetable, but vegetable. And probably, not probably, but probably. See how short and smooth they sound? That's how native speakers say them, quick, natural, and connected. Try practicing these phrases in short sentences. "I'm feeling comfortable." "I'll cook some vegetables." "I'll probably go later." Let's talk about the mindset that helps you become fluent. Sometimes learners feel shy or afraid of making mistakes. But remember, every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Even native speakers make mistakes every day. Fluency is not about speaking perfectly. It's about speaking confidently and continuously. If you stop every time you make a mistake, your brain never learns to flow. And so keep talking, keep practicing, and be kind to yourself. When you make a small grammar mistake, just correct it naturally. You can say, "Sorry, and fix it. For example, he goes to school every day." That small correction shows self-awareness and confidence. Try it with me. She doesn't like coffee. He goes to the gym. It's a powerful way to train your fluency and build confidence. Here's something fun. Use mirroring. When you talk to someone, mirror their tone and energy gently. If they sound calm, speak softly too. If they're excited, show a bit more energy. This creates instant connection, and your English will feel more natural. Communication is not just words, it's rhythm, emotion, and flow. Now, let's do a mini conversation practice together. Imagine you're meeting someone new. You say, "Hi, I'm Alex." They say, "Nice to meet you." You can respond, "Nice to meet you too. So, what brings you here?" They might say, "I'm here for work." You could continue with, "Oh, that's great. What kind of work do you do?" And from there, the conversation flows naturally. Notice how we didn't use any fancy words, just simple, natural phrases connected smoothly. That's what makes your English sound fluent and friendly. When you're ending a conversation, it's also good to know soft closing phrases. You can say, "It was nice talking to you," or "Let's catch up soon," or "I'll see you around." These phrases sound polite and natural. Try them aloud. "It was nice talking to you." "Let's catch up soon." "I'll see you around." Simple, but very useful. And remember, every time you speak English, with friends, online, or even to yourself, you're training your brain to think faster in English. Every word you say builds your fluency muscle. So, keep using these natural phrases every day, even for short moments. Fluency isn't built in a day. It's built in small steps, spoken daily. So, Today's challenge for you is this. Pick 3 new phrases from this lesson and use them in your real life. Maybe say, "That makes sense" to a friend, or "Actually, I think so too" in a conversation, or even "It seems to me that" when giving your opinion. The more you use them, the faster they'll become part of your natural speech. You're doing great so far. Let's keep building your fluency together. Let's continue building your fluency step by step. In this part, we'll focus on how to sound confident and natural in everyday conversations, the kind of small but powerful details that make people think, "Wow, your English sounds amazing." Let's start with a common mistake many learners make. They often answer questions too briefly. When someone asks, "How are you?" they just say, "Fine," or "Good." That's okay, but it doesn't invite conversation. Fluent speakers often add a little more. For example, "I'm good, thanks for asking. How about you?" Or, "I'm doing great, just a little tired from work." These small additions make your answers sound warmer and more open. Try repeating them with me. "I'm good, thanks for asking. How about you?" "I'm doing great, just a little tired from work." Now let's talk about natural expressions you can use when something good happens. Instead of always saying, "I'm happy," you can say, "That made my day," or "I'm over the moon," or "That's such good news." These are everyday phrases native speakers use to express joy naturally. Try saying them with me. "That made my day." "I'm over the moon." "That's such good news." Feel the positive emotion behind each one. And what if something not so good happens? Instead of saying, "I'm sad," you can say, "I feel a bit down today," or "It's been a rough day." Or, if you're trying to stay positive, you can say, "It's okay, I'll get through it." These are the kinds of natural, emotional phrases that make your English sound authentic. Repeat them slowly. "I feel a bit down today." "It's been a rough day." "It's okay, I'll get through it." Excellent. Let's do a quick shadowing exercise together. I'll say a sentence, then you repeat after me in the same rhythm. "I'm having a busy day, but it's going well." "I'm feeling a bit tired, but still positive." "I'm really looking forward to the weekend." Perfect. Shadowing like this helps you get comfortable with the natural pace of English speech. Now let's learn some expressions to agree or disagree more naturally in advanced conversations. If someone gives an opinion and you agree, you could say, "I totally get what you mean," or "That's exactly how I feel." If you partly agree, say, "I see your point, but I think there's more to it." And if you disagree politely, you can say, "I understand where you're coming from, but I'd have to disagree on that." These show maturity and confidence. Practice them now. "I totally get what you mean." "I see your point, but I think there's more to it." "I understand where you're coming from, but I'd have to disagree on that." Here's something many advanced learners use: reaction phrases that keep the conversation alive. For example, "That's so interesting," "No way," "You're kidding," or "Seriously?" These are short, emotional, and easy to use. Try them naturally. "That's so interesting." "No way." "You're kidding." "Seriously?" These reactions make your speech sound more human and connected. Let's talk about how to handle mistakes when speaking English. When you say something incorrectly, don't stop the whole conversation. Just correct yourself smoothly. For example, she go, sorry, she goes to the gym every day. Or he doesn't like coffee. This natural self-correction shows you're aware and confident, not nervous. Try it now. I go, I mean, I went yesterday. Sorry, she doesn't understand. Excellent. Sometimes conversations can feel stuck. Maybe you run out of ideas or feel awkward. In those moments, use transition phrases to move forward. For example, anyway, by the way, speaking of that, or that reminds me. They help you change the topic smoothly. Try saying them aloud. Anyway, what were you saying earlier? By the way, did you finish that movie? Speaking of that, I tried that restaurant too. That reminds me, I need to call my friend. These short transitions keep your flow natural and relaxed. Now, here's a little challenge. Let's practice turning short sentences into full, fluent ones. I'll say a short version and then show you how to expand it naturally. I'm busy can become, I'm pretty busy these days with work and studying. It's hot can become, it's really hot today, isn't it? I'm tired can become, I'm so tired after that long meeting. See how just adding a few details makes your sentences more expressive and fluent. Try expanding these in your own way. Let's talk about connecting ideas. Fluent speakers don't just speak in one-line sentences, they connect thoughts. For example, I was going to cook dinner, but I ended up ordering pizza. Or, I wanted to go out although it was raining. These connectors, but, although, even though, because, make your English sound smooth and mature. Repeat after me. I was going to cook dinner, but I ended up ordering pizza. I wanted to go out although it was raining. I stayed home because I needed to rest. Beautiful. Let's do a little mini dialogue together. Imagine your friend says, I'm thinking about learning Spanish. You can respond, that's awesome. I've always wanted to learn Spanish too. Or, that's cool. What made you decide to learn it? Notice how these responses sound friendly and curious. Curiosity keeps conversations alive. Try practicing this now. When you want to show enthusiasm, you can use phrases like, that sounds amazing, that's great to hear, or good for you. These are warm, positive, and very natural. Try them with energy in your voice. That sounds amazing. That's great to hear. Good for you. And now let's practice softening opinions. Instead of saying, you're wrong, which sounds too strong, try saying, I'm not sure about that, or I see it a little differently. These small phrases make you sound diplomatic and polite. Practice them slowly. I'm not sure about that. I see it a little differently. When you're listening to someone, show you're engaged with short confirming phrases like, yeah, right, exactly, I know what you mean, or that's true. Use a soft, friendly tone. This makes your conversations sound smooth and interactive. Try saying them softly. Yeah, right. Exactly. I know what you mean. That's true. You're doing amazing so far. Fluency is really about comfort, not perfection. And to build comfort, you need to speak daily, even for 5 minutes. Describe your morning routine, talk about your plans, or summarize your favorite show in English. It's all practice. Here's another small exercise. Describe what you're doing right now in English. For example, I'm listening to an English lesson. I'm learning new phrases. I'm improving my fluency step by step. Say those aloud right now. Feel proud of your progress. Now, let's talk about confidence. Many learners think confidence comes after fluency, but actually it comes before. You have to speak confidently even when you're not perfect. That's how fluency grows. When you speak, focus on the message, not on small mistakes. If someone understands you, you've succeeded. So let's practice confidence through tone. Say this with me. I can speak English clearly. I'm improving every day. I can express myself. I'm becoming fluent. Excellent. Confidence comes from repeating these thoughts until you believe them. Let's end this section with a real-life mini practice. Imagine you're meeting someone new at a party. They say, "Hey, nice to meet you." You reply, "Nice to meet you too. How do you know the host?" They say, "We work together." You respond, "Oh, that's nice. What do you do?" See how easy that is? Short, natural, polite. That's fluent English in action. You're doing so well. Let's keep going and explore more advanced, natural English expressions that fluent speakers use in everyday life. Let's move forward and explore even more advanced phrases you can use naturally every single day. The goal here is not to memorize, but to feel these expressions, to make them part of your daily rhythm when you speak English. Remember, fluency is not speed, it's comfort, connection, and confidence. Let's start with showing empathy, one of the most important parts of sounding natural in English. When someone tells you something emotional, don't just respond with "oh" or "okay." Instead, use phrases like, "That must be really hard," or "I can imagine how you feel," or "I totally get what you mean." These small responses make your conversations meaningful. Try saying them slowly with me. "That must be really hard. I can imagine how you feel. I totally get what you mean." When someone shares good news, you can say, "I'm so happy for you," or "That's fantastic," or even, "You totally deserve it." These are genuine, natural ways to show excitement and support. Try them aloud. "I'm so happy for you. That's fantastic. You totally deserve it." Now, let's move to conversational connectors, those tiny, magical words that keep conversations flowing like water. Phrases like, "you know," "actually," "to be honest," "in fact," and "come to think of it," make your speech sound spontaneous. For example, "To be honest, I didn't expect that." "Actually, I've been there once." "Come to think of it, that makes sense." Practice these lines with me. "To be honest, I didn't expect that." "Actually, I've been there once." "Come to think of it, that makes sense." Perfect. When you tell stories in English, you can make them more interesting with sequencing phrases. For example, "first of all," "then," "after that," "finally," or "in the end." These guide your listener and make your story sound organized. Try this mini story with me. "First of all, I woke up late, then I rushed to catch the bus. After that, I had a meeting at work. Finally, I got home and relaxed." Doesn't that sound smooth? Now try creating your own short story using the same connectors. Fluency is also about reactions. When something surprising happens, instead of just saying, "Wow," you could say, "You're kidding," or "No way." When something's funny, "That's hilarious," or "You crack me up." When something's unbelievable, "Seriously?" or "Are you for real?" These short phrases bring your conversations to life. Try them now with natural emotion. You're kidding. No way. That's hilarious. Are you for real? Great. Now let's move to advanced everyday expressions used by fluent speakers that you can start using immediately. Instead of saying, I don't know, you could say, I'm not sure, or I can't say for sure. Instead of saying, I understand, try I get it or I see what you mean. Instead of saying, I think, say, I guess, or it seems to me that. These are softer and more natural ways to express yourself. Repeat with me. I'm not sure. I can't say for sure. I get it. It seems to me that. Beautiful. Let's talk about tone and delivery. When you speak English, how you say something often matters more than the exact words. A friendly tone, a little pause, and a relaxed pace make you sound confident. For example, instead of rushing, I don't think that's a good idea, say it calmly. I don't think that's a good idea. That small pause adds emotion and thoughtfulness. Practice it with me. I don't think that's a good idea. You know, I might have to disagree there. Perfect. When you want to make suggestions politely instead of saying, do this, say, how about, or why don't we, or maybe we could. For example, how about we grab coffee later? Why don't we try a different restaurant? Maybe we could go for a walk instead. Try those aloud now. How about we grab coffee later? Why don't we try a different restaurant? Maybe we could go for a walk instead. Now let's focus on some phrases that help you express uncertainty or hesitation in a natural way. You can say, let me think, or that's a tough one, or I'm not sure how to put this. For example, let me think. Maybe next week works better. Or that's a tough one, but I'll try. Or I'm not sure how to put this, but I think we need more time. Try these with me. Let me think. That's a tough one. I'm not sure how to put this. Great job. Sometimes being fluent means knowing when to be casual and when to be polite. Let's look at examples. When talking to a friend, you might say, hey, what's up? But in a formal setting, you'd say, good morning, how are you today? When thanking a friend, you can say, thanks a lot, or I really appreciate it. But in a formal conversation, you can say, thank you very much, I really appreciate your help. The words are simple. The difference is tone and context. Let's practice switching between casual and polite speech. Say this casually. Hey, do you want to grab lunch? Now say it politely. Would you like to have lunch together? Both are correct. It just depends on the situation. Try a few with me. Can you help me? Casual. Could you please help me? Polite. I'll call you later. Casual. I'll give you a call later. Polite. See how the tone changes the feeling? Now let's work on fluency through rhythm. Fluent speakers don't pronounce every word sharply. They link sounds together. For example, instead of saying, what are you doing? It becomes, what you doing? Or, did you eat yet? Sounds like jeet yet? Don't worry, you don't need to copy it perfectly. Just listen and practice connecting sounds naturally. Try these slowly. What you doing? Jeet yet? Gonna grab some coffee. Wanna join? This natural linking makes your English sound smoother and less robotic. Here's a short exercise for connecting words. Repeat these naturally. I'm gonna take a break. I wanna see that movie. I'm kinda tired. Let me check. Gimme a second. These are everyday contractions used by fluent speakers. The key is to say them smoothly, not perfectly. Now let's look at how to show curiosity or interest naturally. You can say, "Really? What happened next?" Or, "That's amazing. Tell me more." These small reactions keep the conversation alive. Try them now. "Really? What happened next?" "That's amazing. Tell me more." Perfect. Here's a little challenge for you. Imagine your friend says, "I just started learning guitar." You can reply, "That's awesome. How long have you been practicing?" They say, "Only a week." You can respond, "Wow, that's great. I've always wanted to play an instrument." That's natural, engaging conversation, short sentences, emotional connection, real flow. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. Your support helps us create more lessons like this one, and I promise every video will help you get closer to fluency. So don't forget to hit that like button. It really means a lot. Now, let's talk about mindset again. To speak fluently, you have to think in English. Instead of translating, imagine situations and respond directly in English. For example, if you see a cup, don't think cup in your language, just think cup in English. This helps your brain connect faster. Try this exercise. Look around the room and describe what you see. There's a window. It's sunny outside. I can hear the birds. Speak slowly, clearly, and confidently. This kind of simple, mindful speaking practice builds fluency better than memorizing lists. And remember, your goal is not to sound perfect, it's to sound natural. Fluency means you can express your ideas easily with emotion and rhythm. Mistakes are just part of the process. Every word you speak moves you forward. You're doing really well so far. Let's keep going and explore more practical and emotional expressions that fluent speakers use every day. Let's keep building on what we've learned. You're already sounding more fluent and natural. Now it's time to refine your expression and start speaking with real confidence and flow. Remember, English fluency isn't just about words, it's about how those words connect, breathe, and carry emotion. Let's start with something very useful, showing understanding in a conversation. When someone is talking to you, don't just nod or say yes. Instead, use short, natural phrases like, "I know what you mean," "That makes sense," "I get you," or "Totally." These small reactions show that you're following along and emotionally connected. Try saying them now with me. "I know what you mean." "That makes sense." "I get you." "Totally." Now imagine someone is telling you about their bad day. Instead of just saying, "Oh," you can respond with empathy. "That sounds tough," or "I'm sorry to hear that." Or you can gently comfort them by saying, "I hope tomorrow is better." These are small but powerful phrases that create warmth and connection in English conversations. Try them aloud. "That sounds tough." "I'm sorry to hear that." "I hope tomorrow is better." Now let's practice the opposite, showing happiness for someone. If a friend says, "I just got a new job," you could say, "That's amazing," "Congratulations," or "Good for you," or "I'm so happy for you." Try those with energy. "That's amazing," "Good for you," "I'm so happy for you." Feel that positivity? That energy makes your English sound alive and genuine. Here's something very important for advanced learners: being able to react with natural emotion. In English, small reactions show that you're engaged. Use expressions like, wow, oh really? That's crazy. I didn't know that, or you've got to be kidding me. These make you sound instantly more fluent. Let's try a short listening reacting exercise. I'll say a short statement and you give a natural reaction. I just ran 5 miles this morning. You could say, wow, that's impressive. I accidentally deleted my report. You could say, oh no, that's the worst. I'm traveling to Japan next week. You could say, that's awesome, lucky you. Perfect. Now let's move into connecting your ideas smoothly, something all fluent speakers do without thinking. Instead of short, broken sentences, use connectors like so, because, even though, although, and on the other hand. For example, instead of saying, I was tired, I went to the gym, say, I was tired, but I went to the gym anyway. Or, I stayed home because it was raining. Try connecting your own 2 sentences right now. Here's a little rhythm exercise to help you sound smoother. Repeat these slowly and clearly. I didn't plan to go out, but I changed my mind. I was busy all day, so I ordered dinner instead of cooking. Even though it was cold, we went for a walk. Excellent. The more you link your thoughts naturally, the more fluent you'll sound. Now, let's talk about hesitation phrases, the ones native speakers use when thinking. These phrases keep your conversation flowing even when you're unsure what to say. For example, let me see, well, you know, I mean, or basically. Use them to buy time while your brain finds the right word. Try saying them with me naturally. Well, let me see. You know, I mean, basically. Don't overthink them. They're like bridges between thoughts. Let's try them in short examples. Well, I'm not sure about that. You know, I think it's a great idea. I mean, it depends on the situation. Basically, it's just about practice. Excellent. Let's now explore ways to sound polite when making requests or suggestions. Instead of, give me that, you can say, could you give me that, please? Or instead of, send me the file, say, would you mind sending me the file? Adding, please, could you, or would you mind instantly makes your tone gentle and professional. Try these aloud. Could you please help me with this? Would you mind opening the window? Please let me know if that's okay. Here's a fun mini practice. I'll say a direct sentence, and you'll make it polite. Close the door. You could say, could you close the door, please? Move your bag. You could say, would you mind moving your bag? Tell me the time. You could say, could you tell me the time, please? Well done. Now let's practice some advanced natural expressions used by fluent speakers. When you want to say, I agree, instead of repeating the same phrase, you can say, absolutely, you're right, that's true, or exactly. When you want to say, I disagree, you can say, not really, I'm not so sure, or I see it differently. Try them naturally. Absolutely. Exactly. Not really. I'm not so sure. In English, tone can completely change meaning. For example, really can sound surprised, polite, or even doubtful, depending on your voice. Practice saying it in 3 tones. Really, surprised. Really, polite. Really, doubtful. Excellent. Fluency isn't just words, it's how you deliver them. Let's also learn how to show interest politely when you didn't fully understand something. You can say, "Sorry, could you say that again?" Or, "I didn't catch that, could you repeat it?" These are polite and natural ways to ask someone to repeat. Try them aloud. "Sorry, could you say that again?" "I didn't catch that, could you repeat it?" Here's a short exercise for smooth correction. Imagine you made a small grammar mistake. You can fix it naturally by saying, "Sorry, or let me rephrase that." For example, she doesn't like chocolate. Or, let me rephrase that. What I meant was, try it now. Sorry, he goes to work early. Let me rephrase that. I'll call you tomorrow instead. Another advanced fluency tip. When you end a conversation, always close politely. You can say, "It was nice talking to you," or "Let's catch up again soon," or "I'll see you around." These simple endings make you sound friendly and complete. Try these now. "It was nice talking to you." "Let's catch up again soon." "I'll see you around." Now let's do a mini real-life speaking scenario. Imagine you meet someone at a cafe. You say, "Hi, do you mind if I sit here?" They say, "Not at all, go ahead." You reply, "Thanks, it's pretty crowded today, isn't it?" They say, "Yeah, it's always busy on weekends." You continue, "True, I usually come here on weekdays when it's quieter." See how naturally that flows? This is what real fluency sounds like: relaxed, responsive, alive. Now I want you to practice with a simple fluency reflection exercise. After this video, spend 5 minutes speaking about your day in English. Don't worry about mistakes. Just speak continuously. Describe what you did, how you felt, and what you plan to do next. For example, "This morning I woke up early, made breakfast, and listened to some music. Then I went to work and had a busy day." The goal is to build flow, not perfection. When you speak English daily, even for a few minutes, your confidence grows naturally. It's like watering a plant every day. The more consistent you are, the stronger your fluency becomes. And here's your gentle reminder: mistakes are proof that you're trying. No one learns fluency by staying silent. Speak, make mistakes, correct yourself, and smile. You're doing amazing already. Let's keep this positive rhythm going as we move into even more advanced and expressive daily phrases in the next section. You've done so well to reach this point. Now let's continue your journey toward fluent, confident, everyday English. In this final part, we'll explore deeper emotional expressions, subtle conversation techniques, and a few mindset practices that make you sound natural and comfortable in any situation. Let's begin with a very important skill: expressing opinions in a natural and balanced way. Instead of saying, "I think," which can sound repetitive, fluent speakers often use "I guess." I'd say, "In my view," or "From what I can tell." For example, I'd say, "This is one of the best restaurants around," or "From what I can tell, she's really dedicated to her work." Try them now. I'd say, "This is one of the best restaurants around." From what I can tell, she's really dedicated to her work. Notice how calm and confident it sounds. Now, when you want to make your opinion sound softer or more polite, you can use phrases like, "I might be wrong, but it seems like," or "Maybe it's just me, but," for example, "I might be wrong, but it seems like it's going to rain." Or, maybe it's just me, but I prefer working in the morning. These softeners make your English feel gentle, respectful, and easy to listen to. Try them slowly. I might be wrong, but it seems like it's going to rain. Maybe it's just me, but I prefer working in the morning. Now let's work on emotional fluency. The ability to express your feelings with natural tone and vocabulary. Instead of "I'm angry," you can say "I'm a bit frustrated" or "I'm really annoyed right now." Instead of "I'm sad," say "I feel down" or "I'm not in the best mood today." These expressions make you sound authentic and emotionally intelligent. Try them with me. I'm a bit frustrated. I'm really annoyed right now. I feel down. I'm not in the best mood today. And when you're happy, show it warmly. I'm so glad to hear that. That really made my day. I couldn't be happier. These simple emotional phrases make your English sound vibrant and sincere. Try them aloud. I'm so glad to hear that. That really made my day. I couldn't be happier. Fluency also means expressing uncertainty naturally. Instead of freezing when you don't know the answer, you can say, "That's a good question. I'm not sure, but I'll find out." Or, "Let me think about that for a second." These phrases keep the conversation going and show confidence even when you're unsure. Let's practice. That's a good question. I'm not sure, but I'll find out. Let me think about that for a second. Now, let's explore connecting stories and ideas smoothly. Fluent speakers often use transitions like "anyway," "by the way," "speaking of which," or "that reminds me." For example, "Anyway, as I was saying, it's been a busy week." "Speaking of which, did you finish your project?" "That reminds me, I saw something you'd love." These small transitions make your English flow effortlessly. Try them now. "Anyway, as I was saying." "Speaking of which." "That reminds me." Here's something advanced but powerful. Showing agreement with emotion. Instead of only saying yes, you can use absolutely, exactly. "That's so true," or "You're spot on." Or when you really agree, "I couldn't agree more." These sound strong but friendly. Let's practice. Absolutely. Exactly. That's so true. You're spot on. I couldn't agree more. Now, let's practice small talk, the heart of daily English fluency. Imagine someone says, "It's been really cold lately." You can respond, "I know, right? I can't wait for spring." Or if they say, "I had such a long day," you could say, "Same here, I'm exhausted too." Notice how these short, friendly replies show empathy and connection. Let's try a few. "I know, right?" "Same here." "Tell me about it." "You're not the only one." These phrases may seem small, but they're what make your English feel real, the kind that's used by fluent speakers every single day. Let's do a short fluency shadowing exercise. I'll say a few natural sentences. You just repeat after me with the same rhythm and emotion. "It's been a long day, but I'm feeling good." "I can't believe how fast this week went by." "Honestly, I'm just trying to take things one step at a time." "You know what? It's all going to be fine." Very nice. Keep your voice relaxed and steady. Now let's talk about expressing gratitude. It's one of the most natural ways to connect with people in English. Instead of just saying thanks, try "thanks a lot," "I really appreciate it," or "that means a lot to me." For stronger emotion, say I can't thank you enough. Try them aloud. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. That means a lot to me. I can't thank you enough. Gratitude instantly makes your English sound warm and sincere. Sometimes you might want to politely end a conversation or meeting. Instead of just saying goodbye, try, "It was great catching up," or "Let's talk again soon," or "Take care." For example, "It was great catching up. Let's talk again soon." Try those now. It was great catching up. Let's talk again soon. Take care. Let's move on to a simple but powerful tip for fluency: slowing down. Many learners think they must speak fast to sound fluent, but that's not true. Fluent speakers often pause naturally between ideas. For example, instead of rushing, "I think we should go now," say, "I think we should go now." Those small pauses make your English clear, confident, and calm. Try it. "I think we should go now." You know, that's a great idea. Honestly, I couldn't agree more. Another powerful fluency technique is reflection, repeating phrases you hear in your own style. When someone says, "That's so nice of you," you can respond, "Nice of me? Thank you, that's sweet." By echoing their language, you build connection naturally. Try practicing this with common sentences you hear in movies, podcasts, or real life. Now, let's do a short guided speaking activity. Imagine you're talking about your day. Try saying, "Today was a busy day, but I managed to get a lot done." Then add, "I had a few challenges, but overall it was good." And end with, "Now I'm just relaxing and watching a movie." This kind of structured storytelling makes your speech flow naturally. Let's take it one step further. I'll describe a situation and you'll imagine your own fluent response. You're late for a meeting and someone asks, "What happened?" You could say, "Sorry, I got stuck in traffic, but I'm here now." You're asked, "How was your weekend?" You could say, "Pretty good. I went out with some friends and had a great time." You're asked, "Do you like your job?" You could say, "Yeah, I do. It's challenging sometimes, but I enjoy it." These short, connected sentences create fluent communication. Now here's one final mindset practice I want you to remember. Don't aim for perfect English. Aim for confident English. Every conversation you have is a chance to improve. Every mistake teaches you something. Fluency comes from consistency, not from fearlessness. Say this with me slowly. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. Every time I speak, I get better. My English is improving every single day. I can speak clearly and confidently. Excellent. Feel that energy. That's the mindset of a fluent English speaker. Before we finish today's lesson, I want you to remember this. You don't have to wait for the right time to speak English. The right time is always now. Even when you're alone, practice aloud. Describe your thoughts, your plans, your day. The more you practice, the more your brain begins to think directly in English. You've done an amazing job following through this entire advanced lesson. You've learned natural phrases, emotional expressions, and mindset tools to sound fluent and confident. Now it's time to use them every day in real life. Thank you so much for learning with me today. I'm truly proud of your progress and your dedication. Keep speaking, keep practicing, and never stop believing in yourself. You're closer to fluency than you think. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future lessons. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next one.